Michael, go home. Okay, y'all, I am back. I don't know if y'all can hear me. Y'all have to be patient because like this is a new platform. This is wave.video. A lot of people are not using this, so they're still working out some of the kinks, but I really like this platform. It really has a lot to offer me. So it's like it's been better than anything else. But I was trying to tell y'all that I was gonna continue from this past live onto this live. It was gonna be the part 2 to the last live because when I had started my live, I needed to upgrade my plan again. But I upgraded in the midst of the live starting, so it wouldn't restart. It wouldn't, update the live with, with the the upgraded plan. It was still going off the last plan, so it gave me an hour max of streaming time. So I had to end that live to start this one as a part 2. Okay, y'all, that's understood. All right. Don't make me repeat myself. All right. Okay, then. So let me get started here. So let me, continue what we were at. Okay, we're gonna pick up right where we left off. It ain't nothing changing over here. We're gonna watch this video about Monique and her son. And we're gonna get started. Okay. All right, here we go. Actually, let me do it like that. Cool. I prefer that way. Okay, let me see. All right, cool. So let's get it started here. All right, y'all.
Stand-up comedian Monique's oldest son. I guess I felt the need to make this video to just provide some context into this false narrative about her praying to the universe. I know to reconcile our relationship or whatever the hell it is. I wrote it all down so that way I don't go all over the place and get emotional or anything like that. So I'm going to talk like I'm reading a script, but it's just going to help me kind of stay together. But to address the Club Shay Shay interview that she did where she states that she prays to the universe in regards to reconciling our relationship, as I stated, is odd. My mother and I both know that that is a very false narrative, and I would like to free her of having to continue telling that lie. Faith without work is...
This is Monique Child, y'all. He's trying to free her. He talked just like her. He talked just like her.
Dead, and neither one of us cares to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other.
That's really sad that he feels that she doesn't want a relationship with him, and he in return doesn't want a relationship with her, and they don't want to reconcile. Like, that's real sad. And it makes me wonder, how did they get to that point?
We are separate, as she put it, because she doesn't care to be my mother any more than I care to be her son. Neither one of us has had the desire to reach out to the other in a very long time, and I don't think that either of us anticipates that feeling ever returning. Speaking with my mother directly, in my experience, will either lead to some odd newfound moment of clarity in regards to how she was as my mother, or she retreats back to daddy to move forward with a conversation. And
So he's saying that like anytime he tries to have a moment, he says that every single time he tries to have a moment to talk to his mom, he says that either, and this is what I'm interpreting, it's like a weird ass word salad, you know, that she does where he's like, okay, I guess that's a new realization or whatever the case may be. Or the pressure is too much for her. And then she decides to bring Sidney into the conversation, even though that he wants to have a personal one-on-one with his mom. Do y'all remember? Do y'all not remember me saying that Sidney looked like the type of person don't let you talk to your mama by yourself? Like he looked like the I literally, did I not say that? Put it in the chat if I said that. How, tell me I was not spied on when I was reacting to them being in front, like being in front of that damn Instagram live talking to DL Hughley and crying about black love. Like, did I not say that Sidney was the type to not let you talk to your mama? He'll be like, let me talk to you. I'll speak for your mama. It's giving that. It's giving that. Because my stepdad was a Sidney. Very nice person out, like, you know, from the outside looking in. Very nice and docile person. Everybody thought, you know, that he was cool. Everybody loved Bird. That was his nickname. And, you know, when we got to the house, he used to like literally turn into a fucking demon. And then he got in between the relationship between me and my mom, and me and my mom's relationship is still damaged to this day. And I try not to bring her up because she told me not to bring her up on my channel no more. So I try not to do that. But I'm just saying, I'm just doing that to make this a point. All right. So yeah, let me continue this. My bad. But yeah, I called it.
tired of hearing my mother's truths. Newsflash, I'm not sure if people know, but standing in your truth doesn't make you noble. I'm not sure if people are aware of that.
Standing in your truth does not make you noble. It just makes you honest. It does not make, it's like, you don't get a sticker for being honest. You don't get that. But for some reason, Monique and Sidney feel like they deserve all of the things for being honest. Meanwhile, they're telling half truths. And you know what? I'm not going to skip ahead, but I just want to go look at that video because I caught a little bit of clips from Neighborhood Talk that really pissed me off. But I'm low-key starting to feel like I've been manipulated. And I don't like that, Monique. I don't like that. I looked at you like an auntie. And that's the exact way you probably wanted me to look at you, so I could be sensitive and docile towards your side so I won't see the actual truth and the brevity of what's going on around me. It's manipulation. It's that pimp. You ain't about to run no pimp game on me. I ain't no hoe anymore.
But responding this way, I feel as though it allows me to say my piece uninterrupted. To those wondering, well, why say something now? Call it a form of therapy for me, I suppose. But when her daddy had intentionally stated that they have 3 sons, but his wife is on the internet talking about the 4th son in a video that has millions of views, that rubbed me the wrong way. But anyway, to inform a child that you are not interested in being a mother at a time when that kid is the only kid that has the potential to lead a child to believe that you are not interested in them specifically. But to take it a step further, you also admit, my mother had also admitted to me that she didn't do the best job that she could do, which would also make one begin to question, you know, all of your past decisions and prior emotional interactions. But to be completely honest and fair, you know, those were things that I was willing to get over. You know, nobody's perfect. We're all human. But my mother showed a clear lack of humility, compassion, and consideration when taking any level of accountability for those things. My mother does a fantastic job of acknowledging a lot of things, but she doesn't take accountability very well and anything.
Mm. Wow, that's deep. So she can acknowledge stuff, but she doesn't take accountability for it. So she can say, I wasn't the best mom, but she won't go into depth about how she was a bad mom and about how she failed you. She won't take responsibility nor apologize for it. Like I know that feeling very well.
That she may take true accountability for, it's only at her convenience, in my experience.
Mm.
But if I had to guess, though, her interest in being a mother probably started around the time that she married her daddy and had his children.
So it's like he's basically saying because she is truthfully in love with that man, meaning daddy, and she had his children, that's when she really felt like she was a mom. And she didn't really feel like a mom with him. That's really sad. That you feel like your mom really doesn't love you because of you not being by the person that she's with. Like that's really disappointing.
But that interest, obviously seemed one-sided, and as it should have been. By that time, I'm in my late teens, so to some degree, the excuse me, the neglect becomes easier to hide or validate. I guess you could say there are now two baby boys in the house, that require attention. But still, during that time, however, I still watched her enjoy the love and admiration of total strangers more than my own. To this very day, my mother has never.
So he feels like she was chasing after strangers' love than his love. And Monique has had a lot of boyfriends and a lot of men that she was talking to. So it makes me wonder, is he talking about romantically or just people in general? Like Monique would go and run after people's friendship as well, instead of just trying to build that relationship and build that time with him. Like,
Expressed to me when, if ever, she became interested in me as her son. That did lead me down a path of questioning my self-worth and struggling to understand the value of a mother in a child's life. In the interview, she also states that she gave me an apology, but an apology to a son from a mother that consciously showed no interest in him holds no weight. There are still women to this day.
So he's basically saying, like, okay, yeah, you said sorry, I was a bad mom, but you don't make any effort to try to be a good mom. You're not trying to establish a relationship with me. You're not out here reaching out to me and seeing if I'm okay. You're not out here actively trying to better the relationship between the two of us or help me heal through this pain. You're not trying to do any of that. You just say sorry and expect everything to be okay, but that's not real. That's not how it goes. That is crazy.
Hey, that my mother will give credit to for being more of a mother to me than she ever could. Her assistant, my cousin, being one of them. Every time, though, that my mother would state that she was right here whenever I was ready, that ideology still blows my mind today, that a person could openly admit to being an uninterested, not put my best foot forward type of parent and be so self-centered that they still express to the kid, you have to come to me.
That's I really identify with that because y'all, when I don't really talk about my biological father because he wasn't in my life at all. And I really didn't think that it affected me so much until like one day when I was in Las Vegas visiting, probably a few years ago. And like I decided to want to have a conversation with him because I'm up here like, I really want to forgive him because I had a lot of hate, for him. Not saying that the hate was causing me to have any type of emotional differences than I usually would have. That's why I was saying I didn't think I was that affected by it. I just did not like this man. And literally, when I sat in front of that man, I tried to get the first word out and I just burst out in tears. Like it was, and we were in like a diner. It was so embarrassing. I really did not know how much resentment and hurt and pain I really had from the feeling of rejection by my own, like, father. And then after all of that, like, my father like made no effort to try to establish a relationship with me. He basically tried to put it on me to call him, to text him, to do all of these things. And I'm like, but you've been missing for like the last 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years. Like, so how are you going to tell me that I need to call and check and do these things with you? Why aren't you calling me? Why aren't you doing that with me? You're the parent. You should be calling me. You're the one who dropped the ball and didn't raise their child. You should be calling me. Unfortunately, you don't have the ability to, have it the other way around because you didn't raise me. You don't get to do that. You don't just get drop-in calls from me. You have to work to establish that relationship. And so many parents don't want to. They feel like they can just do whatever they want to do and just expect you to just deal with it. That's crazy.
When you ready, you got to come to me for us to make this right. Okay. But I'm not sure what my mother could possibly think that she has shown me in the past or have for me now that's not money, goodness gracious, that would make me.
So at this point, he's saying that what Monique offers him is money, but is not really anything aside from that. And he also said that when Monique would give him gifts or give him things, she would throw it in his face and make it seem like he's ungrateful, but he was saying like it's not about the money. I could care less about the money. I want my mom's love. I want my mom's affection. I want my mom to treat me like she cares about me. I want my mom to love me. I want my mom to hold me, spend time with me, get into bed, watch TV with me, have little tents in the living rooms, sleepovers with me and stuff like that. I want to have a parent. I don't want to have a credit card. So it's not about the money. It's about you and about our relationship between one another. And what he's basically saying at this point is like, you give me stuff to manipulate me. You'll pay for this and you'll pay for that to manipulate me and throw it in my face. But outside of that, you're not really doing anything to try to better the relationship or repair the relationship between you and I. And that's really messed up. Like Monique, I am very disappointed. You sitting here saying all of it, like you've been chasing. So you telling me you've been on every interview talking about Tyler Perry, D.L. Hughley, and Oprah Winfrey and Lee Daniels for like the last 10 or 11 years, and you haven't been making an active effort to try to better the relationship between you and your child and do the work. I guess you feel like you don't have to apologize for anything in this either, huh? Guess you ain't wrong in this. Oh gosh, this is so disgusting.
Well, why say something now? Call it a form of therapy for me.
Y'all, hold on. Give me a second. I'd rather look at this through I'd rather look at this through TikTok so I can control the time frame, okay? Cuz I ain't got time to continue to have to restart over and over again.
Excuse me, the neglect becomes easier to hide or validate, I guess you could say. There are now 2 baby boys in the house, that require attention. But still during that time, however, I still watched her enjoy the love and admiration of total strangers more than my own. To this very day, my mother has never expressed to me when, if ever, she became interested in me as her son. That did lead me down a path of questioning my self-worth and struggling to understand the value of a mother in a child's life. In the interview, she also states that she gave me an apology, but an apology to a son from a mother that consciously showed no interest in him holds no weight. There are still women to this day that my mother will give credit to for being more of a mother to me than she ever could. Her assistant, my cousin, being one of them. Every time, though, that my mother would state that she was right here whenever I was ready, that ideology still blows my mind today, that a person could openly admit to being an uninterested, not put my best foot forward type of parent and be so self-centered that they still express to the kid, you have to come to me when you're ready. You got to come to me for us to make this right. Okay. But I'm not sure what my mother could possibly think that she has shown me in the past or have for me now that's not money.
Can I also say, like, this man is very articulate and he's very good at articulating his emotions and feelings and reasons for having contempt. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's really good at that. Very emotionally intelligent.
Goodness gracious, that would make me want to come to her or whatever those feelings are supposed to be. A mother is supposed to be the first woman that a boy falls in love with. I loved my mother very much, but my mother loved things more than she loved me, and she would validate her love for me by giving me things and would proceed to call me ungrateful or inconsiderate if said things did not have the desired effect.
Like I said,
I couldn't imagine what it's like.
So basically, she would give him things to manipulate him to think that she's a better mom than she actually was. And then she'll get mad when it didn't work and he was not, impressed and he was disappointed. And she still had to show more as a parent. That's what, that's what he's upset at. That's what she's, used to be upset about. And the thing about it is, like, it really is crazy because, like, Monique has been literally barking at a wall for like 10 years, 11, 12, 13, 14 years, right? Because all of this really took place in 2009 when what she's talking about. And your son has been estranged from you this whole time. And you haven't really did a lot of work to try to better that relationship, but you're on every episode, every podcast talking about Tyler Perry. You telling me that you'd rather waste your time in interviews talking about Tyler Perry and him giving you tens of millions of dollars to pay you what you think that you deserve, which I 100% agree with, but will never happen, than to call up your son and spend some time with him instead of getting online and bashing Oprah and Tyler Perry for the umpteenth time. That's crazy. So in truth and honesty, you're talking about the money and the stuff that you lost. So you've been spending 10 years talking about that, but you're not talking about the loss of your your firstborn son. So to be honest, it is giving that you really do honor material things over him. You love material stuff more than him because you spend more time chasing money for the last 13 years that you're never going to get rather than chasing your son. Spending time with your son, chasing the forgiveness of your son.
Like to be her, though, to ask God for what you want, and then he gives you what you need, though, only for you to ignore it and have the audacity to ask God for something else. And I'm glad I don't. I'm glad I didn't do that. And when he told you no, you went to the universe instead. By no means, though, do I want to give off any type of an impression that I am a victim of anything. It's not the case. As you can see, I'm smiling from ear to ear. I'm alive. I'm happy. I'm a dad.
You're hurt, and it's okay to admit that. You're not okay, and that's fine. You're okay now, meaning you're not having a mental breakdown because of all of the trauma, but deep down you're still hurting, and that's okay to admit that. And you could be a dad, you can have a cold that day and all of that type of stuff and still not be okay emotionally at the center. Let's be honest here, you're not okay. And that this, all of this is letting me know that you're not. When you don't have to be. You don't have to be okay.
I'm healthy, I think. I drink a lot of water. I'm getting over a cold now. I still have my days just like everybody else. And, there were a few things that she did teach me along the way. I did learn how not to love from my mother. I also learned to make sure that I never lose so much of who I am that I have to validate it through another person. And though I feel as though, in hindsight, I think she did it reluctantly, I do appreciate my mother, for showing me what the top of the mountain looks like. You know what I'm saying? It did give me perspective on what hard work and dedication can get you, but I don't want something like that at the cost of giving up something that I created. I don't want it that bad. And speaking of creations, I genuinely, truly, I really did want my mother to have a relationship with my daughter. I even fought through those intrusive thoughts that were, if she wasn't interested in you, what makes you think she's going to be interested in your kid?
Wow.
But
Mo,
it
like
took
this
my
man,
mother.
so this man, you be online talking about my sweet babies all day. And your son doesn't even think that you love or care about him enough to even want a relationship with your grandchild, one of your actual sweet grandbabies. Who, Monique? Ooh, Monique.
No time at all to prove that those intrusive thoughts were correct. But what
I will say that this man is very handsome. He does kind of look a little homely, but I assume that that's just because he needs his beard shaved up and, just a little line up. But he's a very handsome man. I really want to know what the daddy looked like.
can say, good for her. The universe did, bless her with three other sons. Bless her with three other sons, and God willing, I'm sure that one of them, all three of them are adults now. So I'm sure that one of them, God willing, if not all three of them, will make her the grandmother that she wants to be. I still look forward, to that moment for her. But overall, when it comes to the boys, though, I am happy that whenever they do hear me talk, sorry, my phone did something weird, but whenever they hear me talk, they don't know what it is. They can't relate to what it is that I'm saying. My experience with my mother is not their experience with our mother. So my prayer for her and them is that they continue to see her the way that they see her now. I do also want to make sure that I say thank you to my mother for giving me life. Without that moment in time, I wouldn't have had my little one. But outside of that moment,
I love how this is respectful but direct and honest. He's thanking her for giving him life. He's saying that he don't want no bad, to happen to her. He wants her to have success. He wants her brothers to look at her as a great mom. He wants her to continue to thrive. He wants that for her.
there isn't anything that either of us has to offer the other. In my opinion, it's a waste of God's time and the universe's time for praying for something that you are not willing to put forth any effort to obtain. Putting the work into becoming Monique is more important to my mother than being my mother. And I do not believe that it was never about her being there and waiting for me, but it was supposed to be about me being there and waiting for her. My mother's value had reached such a low point in my life that I no longer found it necessary to either want to wait for her or even go to her. But like I said, man, I'm super grateful that she has the opportunity to do it all over again. I'm happy for her. I hope the Cat Williams tour goes well, but the narrative that she prays for us to reconcile is a false narrative. It's not real, and I'd appreciate it if she stopped saying stuff like that.
So basically, he's saying like, yeah, you were a bad mom, but you don't really care enough to try to rectify the situation, nor try to establish a healthy connection and relationship with me. So stop bringing me up in your interviews like you wish and you're praying to have a relationship when you don't. Monique had already let us know that she wasn't a good mom, and that she was glad she had a chance to make this right and better the wrong and be a better mom to these kids that she got now, because she wasn't a great mom to him. But he's also saying, yeah, that is true, but you still don't want to be a good mom to me, so stop bringing me up like that. You're not praying that we can reconcile. You don't want to do that. You don't care about me. So let you erase me, and you only look at yourself as having now 3 sons, and you just want to start off from there. Okay, so let's be honest. Wow. And the way he said like daddy, her daddy's like, she every single time he wants to talk to her, he gets in the way, Sidney, that is. And apparently Sidney and Monique responded to what he had to say. So let's listen to what Monique said. All right.
Okay. We got it. All right, we're gonna wait for some of the babies to come in the room.
I do not like this little bitch ass man right here. I don't know, y'all. His face bothers me. He has a sly face. Like, he's sneaky. Like, he's an old sneaky little bitch. I do not like this man. I do not like this man. This man is no good. Mm-mm. My spirit always aligns and lets me know when something is off, and this man is off. But I'm gonna continue this
so we can have this conversation.
Like, it looked like he's smirking. Like, y'all see him smirking is up there like, okay, bitch, we about to get into this shit, ho. Like the baddest bitch grin. It's giving Tamar Braxton, season 1, Braxton Family Value smirk. It's giving that. I really don't like this man. Oh gosh, is this video gonna make me mad?
You would do that right now?
Y'all sitting here playing with the cat, smiling and giggling. Meanwhile, your child saying that he don't feel love. That's crazy. And this motherfucker is grinning, smiling, looking at the cat like this is all a game. Wow.
Hey, babies.
Hey.
We just wait for y'all to come on in the room so we can have this conversation with our community.
I'm like, and at this point, y'all, it's becoming, when she says that now, it's starting to sound a little bit manipulative. Like, she's using the community as a crutch. When truth be told, Monique, the community don't give a fuck about none of this shit. Like, the community, you ain't splitting the money with the community. Like, cut it out.
What is that? Oh, we good. Let's rock and roll, baby.
Let's rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
The title of our conversation, or the theme of it, is called The Long Way Around, because ain't no shortcuts. Pickles, stop playing with that paper, please. The reason we're having it is a multitude of reasons, but we're going to start off with, there was a Instagram that was put up, or I guess
it was TikTok, baby.
TikTok that was put up by
my son, my oldest son, Shalon. And this is what I want to say to this.
Why are you responding to your son on social media for the community? What does the community have to do with this? Why not message or call your son, directly? Wasn't you talking about people needing to call you directly, pick up the phone and call you, let you know how they feel and stuff like that, instead of taking a long way around? But you're doing the same thing. You're talking to your son through a social media platform to the community.
There are some people that are saying, oh, you should be ashamed of your mothering skills. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is what I'll say. Let's let it play out.
You said you was a bad mom. What do you mean let it play out? What do you mean let it play out? You said you're a bad mom. So now are you like not a bad mom? So I'm saying, like, you said that you dropped the ball with Shalon, and you glad that you got a chance to redo it over with the boys that you have now. So why are you acting like all of a sudden you wasn't a bad mom? You said that you was a bad mom. So what do you mean let it all play out? I mean, it's kind of over now. Your son is older. Your son don't really fuck with you like that. So it's not like it's giving, let it all play out. Y'all gonna see. Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make sense to me.
Because the same ones that said to me I was crazy, I was deranged, We watched it play out. So just like with my son, we'll watch this play out. And I do want to address this though, Shalon. When you say her daddy, then that's when mommy gonna say stop playing, because
When mommy gonna say stop playing?
because you know this has been Uncle Sid your whole life. Uncle Sid knew you before you knew you. So for you to say her 3 sons, yes, you're absolutely right. He has 3 sons. He can't claim you as his son because he's always been Uncle Sid, and he knows your daddy very well.
And love that brother.
So wait, so you're telling me you can get married to this man, he could become the stepfather, but he doesn't want to accept your son as the, as one of his stepchildren, and your son is wrong for feeling some type of way about it? But let's be clear, because I also saw something else. Give me a second. Okay. All right, so here we are. So here is the other son that, because it's 4 sons in total. It's Shalon, it's Mark, and it's the 2 twins by, Mr. Lip Gloss. But these 2 kids are not by a Sidney. Both of these kids are by, Jackson, Mark Jackson, which is who's an English actor. So this is who their father is. He let me see. He's an English actor renowned for playing the artificial life form Isaac on the ongoing American TV series The Orville, which airs on Fox and Hulu from 2017 to date. So this is their father, but he's claiming Mark, but he's not claiming Shalon. And let's be clear, how effective was the father as a father in his life? Because it's given that the father wasn't really there either. Like, it's given the father wasn't there, and just because you love the father and you get along don't mean shit. I know a bunch of terrible parents that get along. Honestly, I feel like terrible parents always get along. When you have 2 fucked up parents, they always get along. Or a group of fucked up parents, they always agree with each other, and they always get along. It's like a fucking fucked up parent committee. Like, like the Grammys or something. Like, so that doesn't really make sense. Why are you claiming one that's not yours, but not the other one? I'm confused. Where's this 3rd child? I know damn well Monique ain't got 5 kids. What we're not going to do is play these games. That's what we're not going to do. Did you catch he tried to establish a relationship with his daughter and Monique when he said battle through intrusive thought? Did you catch he tried to with his daughter and Monique? Did you catch he tried to establish? I didn't catch that. I don't know. Like, what do you mean? Can you go into depth about what you mean? And thank you for the super chat, Tiffany RX. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, I will catch your super chat. The father adopted Shalon. The father didn't adopt him. So you're saying that, like, that y'all get along with the father, but the father ain't even there, from what I hear.
And the irony of all of this is not what is said, but what's left off.
Yes.
See,
Not what it said, but what's left off. So I guess this is where you're about to go and try to smear him. And then my question is, if you're not the dad, if you don't really want to claim a parental figure in this man's life, then why are you talking? Why don't you shut the fuck up and let the mother of this child talk, talk about their child instead of your little bald-headed ass got to say something. You always want to talk. All you do is talk. When do you work?
you're leaving off the fact that the last time we laid eyes on you, your mother got you everything you needed for the newborn baby.
Wow. So you got me material stuff for my grandchild. What about my inner child that needs love and affection and guidance and healing? What about that? And once again, it's going into the material stuff like he said. And it's not, who are you to say anything? This is not your place. Like it's not your place. Allow his mom to say this. Why are you talking? And he already said to us on the video that y'all have done stuff for him monetarily. So it's not about the money. It's not about that. It's about establishing a real relationship. It's not about the physical stuff. And that lets me know that y'all wasn't even listening to what this boy said. Y'all just wanted to make a video to try to clap back at him and try to smear his image. That's what this is about. It's not about actually trying to hear what he had to say. Like,
about 3 years ago. You're forgetting about how I, from Georgia, am talking you through getting your car after we gave you the half of the down payment.
After you mean her. So now you're bringing up stuff that you had to do for him monetarily. And let's be clear. Let's be clear here. Like the money for the down payment that you're talking about came from Monique. Bitch, you don't have any money, Sidney. Any money that you get comes from Monique. She's the cash cow of this relationship, not you. And before that, you was known as a motherfucking salesman. Probably selling Avon Beauty. At the end of the motherfucking day, her stepping up as a fucking parent, that doesn't mean anything. So just because he's 31, he can't get help. But you're the same person talking about the community. But throwing up in somebody's face so if we're going based on that logic, when Monique had to get money from another man to pay her bills, her mortgages, and her fucking rent and whatever she had to fucking pay, this big lump sum of money from another man, because her own man that was in his 30s couldn't fucking provide. It's crazy that y'all are talking shit about that man on an interview and saying that he didn't do something that y'all thought that he was gonna cool through and do. But he paid for y'all rent and everything else. He gave y'all a big lump sum of cash that kept y'all down when y'all was about to be homeless. But why was your old ass about to be homeless? If we're going off that same mindset that you're talking about, her son being 31, needing a partial of the down payment, bitch, you needed a whole fucking thick ass check from Kevin Hart. Her son didn't need that. Her son didn't need that. At least he's related to his mama. Y'all took money from a nigga that's not even her husband nor your relative. You should have been the one providing for your fucking family in hard times, getting the fuck up and going to work for your family during hard times. Monique shouldn't even have to do that. See, I was going easy during the interview because out of respect for Monique and because you were really not the focus. But since you're putting yourself at the forefront and talking, let's dissect. Because you a broke ass bitch too, if we being clear. To be clear, that's his mama. So he don't come from broke. He was raised with a silver spoon. You, on the other hand, you came into a relationship with a bitch who was making way more money than you ever have. And you've been living off of it ever since. Fucking up all her business opportunities with your fucked up advice and your fucked up tone. Nasty ass disposition and your word salad that you just spit out. None of this shit that you're saying means anything. But I'm going to continue.
Forward. And you were 31 years of age, 32 years of age at that point. And I'm negotiating the deal with
What the fuck? Like I'm saying, y'all, I get, like, look, I was in the military. I was in the motherfucking military. You, like, grown ass fucking people risking their lives to go fight for the country still needed help from their chiefs and from their senior chiefs to go get a car. Because people don't know how shady and shisty car dealerships can be. So you might need, your mom or your family member to come and, listen in, or somebody who has more knowledge of how car dealerships go, because you were a salesman, right? That's why he would do that. I would imagine, because you were a salesman, that's why he would come to you, because he knows you know the game. That's the reason that my senior chief had to come with me to go get my first car when I was in the military, because I was 18. I was fresh. I didn't know anything about getting no motherfucking car. I didn't know how they were probably going to try to pimp my motherfucking pockets. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense that he came to you and y'all helped him. And the fact that his mom helped him get a car doesn't mean shit to me, because at the end of the day, his mom is rich. Why not? Why should he have to struggle with no help when you have money? Not you, Sidney, Monique. We didn't forget that you the broke bitch in the relationship. You ain't got shit. Because your wife had to go to Kevin Hart for money for y'all fucking household while you was sitting at home. Probably telling Monique, hey, baby, did he give you the check yet? Did he give you the check? Head ass.
The dealer for you as you sit there, and you have the vehicle you're driving right now because of your mother.
At this point, if I was Shalon, I promise y'all, this is how much pride I have. I would give the car up, give it right back. Bitch, you can have it. Bitch, I'll take Uber. Bitch, I would save up $3,000, make sure my motherfucking credit is good, and I would get me a car on my own. Put a down payment on it, get a car on my own, and that'll be that. And the thing about it is, y'all talking about $5,000, putting $5,000 on a car, but he's paying it off. So do you want the $5,000 back? Like, but my thing is the car still needs to be paid off. So it sounds like he's the one who's still putting payments on it with the interest and everything. You didn't pay for the car outright. You talking like you did. Which lets me know that, it's another thing y'all didn't do. Why didn't you just pay for the car outright? Why didn't you do that? You have the money. You're living in this big ass fucking mansion. You got all this motherfucking mouth. You got this settlement from Netflix. Could have paid for the car in full. Then you would have been able to say, I paid for that car, instead of just saying I helped with the down payment, but you still paying on the motherfucker, and I'm bringing it up into conversation. Bitch, I'm still paying on this shit myself. Bitch, I could give you the $3,000 to $5,000. That's just a couple checks. The fuck?
These are the things that you're leaving out when you're expressing what you're expressing in reference to your mother. You're not expressing.
And if Monique don't pick the motherfucking glasses up off her nostrils and push the motherfuckers up,
the relationship that you have with your father, where you spoke ill to him.
Yeah. If he, you don't, that's the thing about it. You're saying shit, but you're not saying the reason. Why did he speak ill of his father? What if his father and him have a complicated relationship? Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me if Monique, being a fucking pick me, pick me, Mel Dick, let me suck male dick. I love black dick, her fucking being a pick me, and then you being a fucking pick me too, and being a misogynist, sitting here basically want to absolve the father for dropping the ball too. He probably has issues with his other father, with his actual father, right? His biological dad. He probably has an issue that his father wasn't there either. So he might have talked bad about him, but for you to bring that up, that doesn't what's the context? You're talking about people saying stuff, believing stuff out of the story, but you're doing the same shit. What does that have to do with the fact that Monique was not a good fucking mom? And why the fuck are you talking instead of Monique? So you gonna let this nigga come online and bash your child and call your child a broke ass dependent bitch? Is basically what he's saying to me. To me, Monique, that's exactly what Mr. Sidney is saying, that your son is old, broke, pathetic, a codependent ass bitch, and he don't respect his parents. That's what, and you're just like, What's going on here? Like, what's going on?
Not to mention spoke ill to your mother, but somehow your mother and father and I all have a loving relationship and communicate back and forth because of the love that we have for you. The one thing these individuals, and to the individuals out here that oftentimes speak,
I would not be surprised if the biological father got along with you, because you probably try to villainize his son for feeling valid anger and resentment towards him for not being there, and now you can like turn his own father against him, who was really not there anyway. So now it looks like, you know, y'all are all partnering together and loving each other, and he's the one that's the odd one out. Like, no. Like, how the fuck can you try to throw his own daddy in his face and talk about you love his daddy? Girl, what the fuck? How that work? And I just cannot imagine his actual father being okay with this bald bitch really sitting here talking about his son like this.
after they've heard one side of the story, there's an old saying, believe half of what you see and none of what it is that you hear.
So let's all believe half of what we hear Monique say and barely anything that we really fucking hear. Okay, if we're going off of this.
Please don't take our word for it, but what we will convey is this. Those who are parents and have raised their parents up to being adults.
The children. Raise their children up to being adults.
Right on. Those who are parents that raise their children into adulthood know that there comes a time and a place in which they determine their own decisions, their own path. You can have multiple children.
What are you saying? You're like, it's like he's like, y'all, he's throwing out word salad, but he's not really saying shit. We all know that at some point we all have to make our own decisions and go our own paths. Bitch, that's being a fucking adult. What he's saying is, although I'm an adult, that does not mean I don't need my motherfucking mom. So if my mom hasn't ever really been in my life like that and she neglected me and she was a bad mom, from what she also said, the least she could do is call me, check up on me, arrange to spend some time with me. And for me not to have to chase her when I've been chasing her this whole fucking time and she never showed up. What are you talking about?
That are raised in one house, but they act and they take on different things. The reason why it was so important for us to entertain these conversations that we typically have privately, or that we're influenced to have privately amongst the people in our community, is because we need to stop being embarrassed about being human beings and about being Black human beings.
Okay, Mr. Black human being, what the fuck was you doing? Like, we don't know shit about you. You've been sitting here talking about Monique, talking about the Tyler Perrys, the D.L. Hughley's, the Kevin Harts, the Oprah Winfrey's, the Keith, the Lee Daniels of the world. What the fuck is your background? What was you doing? Where did you go to college? What did you do for a living? What qualified you to be a manager for Monique? How do you get money on your own to bring into the household? What do you do, sir? What's your background? Do you have children outside of the marriage? What was your past relationships looking like? Let's be real. Is the rumors about you sucking dick true? Because we heard through the grapevine, we've been hearing through the grapevine for years that you can wrap your lips around a mean one. Let's all be human. We can sit here and say all of this shit about her son. What about you? We don't know shit. All we see you do every single fucking time you come and talk to us is you get in here, you sitting here talking about motherfucking Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, some other motherfuckers we don't care about, and my people, my community, brothers and sisters, Omegas, all of that other shit. What about you? What's your humanity looking like?
You will oftentimes hear us saying we are embarrassing ourselves in front of them. Who is them?
Who are they?
Because when you hear someone articulate these things, that is the slave's mentality that makes us believe that we as Black people need to conduct ourselves with dignity because white people are watching. You should conduct yourself with dignity because the spirit of you is watching.
Come on.
But we need to have these conversations out loud and taboo because we have a finite period of time together here on this earth.
What does any of this have to do with the sun?
You will travel through infinity with the spirit that you have all alone, and you will not remember the ridicule that you receive, but you will be judging yourself.
Monique, this nigga is talking about riding through infinity with the spirit that you have, but this nigga is trying to ride into infinity with your motherfucking money. And you're being a dumb hoe, literally sitting next to him while he bashes your son. Your son. The one that he said is not his, the one that he didn't claim as a part of the 4 children between y'all. He just said y'all have 3 together. He didn't claim Shalon.
Will be determining for the rest of your life which way that you go as you have thus far.
Child, I'm just saying, I would not be surprised if Monique took a nasty fall down the stairs and this man inherited all her money. I would not be surprised. He's that type.
So this conversation is about speaking directly to what situations are. And many people oftentimes, when they are presented with an issue, they stay quiet, they hide, they disappear. And what we're saying is that's not who we are, because what you cannot do is you cannot trick an honest person.
Come on.
You can demean, you can say whatever you want to say about them negatively, but what will happen is truth has a way of standing the test of time.
What did he say that's not the truth? What did he say that's not the truth? The fact that y'all tried that, the fact that Monique tries, mind you, he really didn't even say shit about you. He didn't say shit about you at all. So the fact that you're talking more than the mother is crazy to me. But the fact that he said that, you know, Monique wasn't a good mom, Monique doesn't really put any effort to try to, you know, talk to him, try to see him, try to spend time with him, you know, and that's the real truth. They're not making an effort to see each other, and that's equal on both parts. He said it's not just her, it's me too. So what's the, like, you know, are you upset, or are you just saying that he's lying because you don't like the image that it's portraying, or you don't like the fact that, you know, he's ruining your image in front of people and making the sob story, you know, that you've been, you know, pimping out to all, you know, major news networks, you know, being distracted by the fact that you was a terrible mom that doesn't really give a fuck about your kids, but you're trying to hold everybody else accountable? Is it that? Like, I'm just trying to figure out what, you know, why are y'all sitting here trying to call this man a liar?
I forgot to have my phone to read the last text message that I gave to you, Shalon, where I told you about the understanding of how you are speaking to a woman and how you as a man and how you perceive things may be completely different.
So now you're trying, so now you're sitting here trying to say that he's verbally abusive to women. Like, do y'all see what he's dog whistling? Now he's trying to say that Shalon is verbally abusive to women, and the way that he speaks to Monique is verbally abusive.
Different from how your wife, how your mother, how your sister, how your daughter will look at things. And when you learn how to communicate a little bit better, then things will happen a little bit better. You young man, because of the challenges that this young brother has had.
Child, that was probably Shalon calling him right now, and they forwarded that man a voicemail. That was probably Shalon and one of the brothers be like, "Mama, cut this out." And he forwarded him a voicemail saying, "No, I'm not done dragging y'all brother. Not done dragging you, Shalon."
With mental illness. So
y'all, so this man basically just, like, I don't know if y'all just heard him because they kind of had technical difficulty, but this man basically just tried to say that Shalon is verbally abusive to women and he has mental health issues. So you tried to call him a mentally deranged, abusive bitch to women. Not to mention that you call him a broke bitch too earlier. So not only is he mentally abusive, but he's mentally inept and he a broke bitch from what your husband is saying, Monique. And he's a liar because you said that too, basically. Like, I'm able to dissect the word salad and see what you're really saying. This is what you're saying about him. And Monique is just sitting there looking like, hold on, bitch. Monique, y'all, Monique sitting there looking like, preach, daddy. Daddy. Yes. Yes, my son ain't shit. Daddy. Hold on, they're not down enough. Daddy. Yeah. Yes, daddy. Just like, yeah, yeah, he mentally abusive, he broke, he ain't got shit going on. Let's continue the video.
We're communicating that out loud to speak to our community, to say, listen, y'all, if we have more public conversations, there will be less private angst.
Come on.
There will be less private issues that we carry on because we're afraid to communicate in front of white folks.
So when we get to a place where you want to be free, you will stop being scared to say what's real. You'll stop being feared.
So my sweet babies, who's scared? Who's afraid to say what's real? So you're saying that your son Shalon is afraid to say what's real? What is he afraid of? What is he afraid of? He ain't out here but begging for $10 million. You are. So what he got to be afraid of? Like, obviously, the fucking stepdaddy or the Uncle Sid done wrote this nigga out the will anyway, so he ain't gonna get nothing when you pass. So at this point, what are you talking about?
Fearful of having conversations that normally take place in private and nobody ever really knows the outcome. And from there, when you were saying earlier about how we're looking in front of white folks. When I do hear our brother Greg Mathis say this,
what are we talking about? Are we still talking about the son, or is the son not important enough to focus on? We're talking about other people. Is this now? Are we talking about Stephen A. Smith?
The studio is watching y'all and the executives are watching y'all. So what?
If the executives are watching closely, the individuals that would want to interact with us are those who are engaged and are in alignment with what is true.
Come on.
See, the first question would not be, Stephen A. Smith, why did you video someone? Or you won't entertain Kevin Hart is the biggest star in the world. She said that. Not only did she say that, not only when she spoke about Oprah and Tyler, these are individuals that you failed to hear that she said she loves them. And when you love...
So it looks like we don't give a fuck about the son enough to focus on him. We kind of like word salad our way to talk about Stephen A. Smith. And now we're talking about other people. Okay.
Folks, you tell them what they need to know, not what they want to hear. We've put certain individuals in such a status that we've disallowed them to be human beings. And on the note with taking the long way around and that there are no shortcuts. So you could take the shortcut and cross through
Y'all, this man is not saying shit. Like, this man is not saying shit. He is just talking to hear himself talk. And Monique is really sitting there looking like, yes, daddy. Come on. Come on now. Mr. Bubble, stop playing with that little rubber ball over there. My son, I don't give a shit about that nigga. Go ahead, daddy. Y'all, I love y'all for real, my sweet babies. Like, it's really giving this. Like, it's really giving this, especially with the fucking glasses. Like, it's really giving this. Like, y'all look fucking crazy.
It's Evelyn's yard, but you know she got a pit bull. And he may or may not be in.
Who's the pit bull? I hope that you're not saying that you're the pit bull, Sid. I really hope Sid ain't saying he the pit bull. Y'all, I could tell by the top, I could tell by this by the sweatsuit top that Sidney got knock knees. I can already tell Sidney knees be knocking, no boots. I can already tell. He gives me bitch vibes. I can already tell y'all. Ain't nothing pit bull about this man.
In that yard. But you know for sure if you get in that.
And I don't like people who top row of teeth don't show when they talk. I cannot stand the only my bottom row of teeth show type of bitch. I never trust them snaky bitches. You know, I never trust y'all. Why don't y'all top row of teeth show? Why are your top row of teeth hiding behind your lips? Well, how is that? How does that work? But you're saying words. How does that work? I don't like that.
Yard and he is in that yard, you will definitely be chased. It is a bit safer to go around the long way because not only is it the right thing to do because you're not cutting through somebody's yard, their grass, trespassing on their property, but what happens is it may be a longer journey, but it's worth the trip. So we're going to take the long way around and we're not going to call
all the way around. All the way around. Bitch, we ain't talking about NASCAR. Bitch, we ain't talking about around the world in 80 days. Bitch, we ain't talking about a round trip. Bitch, we're going all the way around. Bitch, we talking about Stephen A. Smith. Okay? That's what we're talking about. Speak, Pastor.
Call out these individuals on platforms like this. We're going to call them up. Now, please don't confuse. When Monique is standing on stage, she has an artistic paintbrush designed to paint her life and make people laugh in a way in which a comedian is supposed to do. So her life experiences are fair game. They're fair game.
Fair game.
So when she says what she says on stage, please don't say it's the way that she said it.
Let's all laugh like Monique while we neglect our children. Isn't this such a fulfilling laugh while you neglect your kids? Isn't that hilarious? Don't y'all feel fulfilled on the inside while your children are broken at home and at 31 at home in their closet begging for their mom's love and affection and attention, but you're sitting here with your man who controls all your assets and lost every deal that you could possibly ever have while you're sitting next to him laughing and kiki. Okay, let's continue.
Because she's on stage. We're dealing with, when we're not on stage, what is being said. And again, to revisit Brother Stephen A., I'd like to point something out to you. When you sit there and you say that a black woman looks bitter because she's telling her personal truth, when you sit there and you speak in reference to the individuals that she spoke about, you're not, because you wanted to distinguish yourself from Shannon Sharpe as being a journalist, but you said you don't know what's happening, you don't know what's going on, and you don't care to know. That right there is you sacrificing your journalistic integrity, because it is your job to know when you make assertions about certain individuals and not form an opinion. And you are supposed to ask the questions such as, when she said what she said regarding Kevin Hart and David Becky, as it
y'all put a 1 in the chat if you know what's going on. Put any other number if you don't. Put a 1 in the chat if you know what he's talking about, what the fuck it deals with, and what is what. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all could follow what he's saying, and put a 2, 3, 4, 1 billion in the chat if you cannot. Okay, my sweet babies. Go ahead. I'll wait. We're gonna wait, and then we could talk back to daddy. Stop using us black women for your agenda. At this point, is Sidney even addressing Monique anymore? I mean, Shalon anymore? No, he's not. I think Shalon is irrelevant to what they're actually trying to achieve, so they can give a fuck. I'm trying to push these bitches down on my nostrils as far as I can, but this shit kind of hurts. I don't know how Monique is breathing. This is hurting me. Okay, let's continue.
Relates to him reneging on what he promised, and you ask the question, was there?
So now we bringing up Kevin Hart reneging on what he promised, even though that he paid y'all mortgage and gave y'all a big ass check for y'all not to be homeless. But you bringing it up. But you mad at your son, Monique, for bringing up how you dropped the ball because you put a down payment on his car and bought his baby some diapers. Wow, that's crazy. It really does sound like a hypocrite to me.
A reason, Monique, that he would do that? Here's the question you should ask. Is what she said true? And if there was a reason why he would have done that, would there not have been a reason why he wouldn't have called her first?
Look, at this point, y'all bet not. Like, Cat needs to drop these two motherfuckers off of the tour at the earliest convenience. Cat, do not bring this like, round, sassy, bald bitch to the damn tour. Like, no, he can't come. He can't come to the tour. Cat, don't let him, please. We the people don't want, for our community. We don't want that. For the community, I think we all agree as a people, as a collective of Negroes, of Negro spiritual hymns, black peoples of communities. We don't want this. We don't want to see Sidney. So, make your choice, Cat.
To say, I've got to take that deal back. See, when we stay grounded in this thing called ethics,
come on.
When we stand grounded in this thing called right, it's going to carve through all of the nonsense that you were trying to communicate. And I can see, based upon watching you throughout the years, that you consider yourself an intellect. And please forgive me for speaking in this manner as it relates to Monique. As a black man, what happens is the black woman should sometimes not have to defend herself. Sometimes
it's coming across now that you're using black women as a form of manipulation. Because truth be told, let's be real, Monique, you not out here uplifting black women at all. All you do is uplift black dick, black ball sacks, and black men. You don't uplift black women at all. Last time I heard you talk to the black women as a collective, you said that they harlots who have no grace because they like to wear bonnets at the airport. And then you started crying about y'all, your black love and the black king. Y'all don't give a fuck about black women until it benefits you. Let's be real. It ain't about black women. It's about you. It's about you. It's giving very Nicki Minaj, because Nicki Minaj does that too.
There's a level of defense that should be had on her behalf for we as black men, because Monique didn't step to you when you were calling Kyrie Irving out for being a man and making a decision as a man.
So now we're dog whistling to Kyrie Irving. See, this is what y'all do. I'm noticing the tactics. See, it's like Monique does it better than you, and it comes across more genuine with Monique, because I really do feel like Monique is really genuine in the stuff that she's saying, but little does she know that she's being used and manipulated by you. See, what you're saying is calculated and nasty, but you spin it to Monique and make her feel like what you're saying has validity and merit to it. So when she says it, she says with conviction and she says it with passion because she believes it, but it's still manipulation. By you. You manipulate people through Monique. That's what I'm starting to realize here. Monique ain't nothing but a sounding board. Monique ain't nothing but a sounding board. You sitting here repeating sentiments to dog whistle. So I guess now Kyrie Irving and all of these other people are gonna be like, yeah, Monique, yeah, my auntie ain't never wrong. Speak your truth. And then she gonna get more support behind her. Because you're mentioning these people and saying how they've been wronged by the person who's wronging you right now. So y'all can come up as a collective, and so more people can rally behind Monique. It's manipulation, but you truthfully don't give a fuck about those people, because when Kyrie Irving was going through this shit, none of y'all spoke up for him. You didn't speak up for him. You was too busy chasing after Tyler Perry, even though you felt like this black man was being targeted. But let's talk about it. It was highly irresponsible for a lot of you motherfuckers not to be going to go get y'all vaccinations because of some weird biblical prophecy that never was fulfilled, because that was not the biblical prophecy anyway. Ain't nobody trying to do shit to y'all. And that's why so many of you motherfuckers died, because y'all did not get vaccinated. Y'all sat there like dummies and did not get vaccinated until you died. And that's what we were saying. Do not promote people not to get the best form of medical treatment so they can survive. That was the backlash. And then don't try to be in this fucking NBA thinking that you're not going to get vaccinated and put everybody else at risk. I'm tired of the weird ass nigga short brain conspiracy theories. You niggas said that, and even if that was the case, bitch, you don't believe in God anyway, Monique. You're talking to the universe, so you shouldn't even be bringing this up. Okay, don't use people's pain as a form of a weapon, to aid your personal endeavors. Using somebody's traumatic event, something where they had to be on the brunt of a whole lot of pain and hurt, so you can make a point.
To not get a shot, and
a vaccination that would have saved the lives of millions, but you dumb bitches like you did not decide to do that and they died. But we will continue. It's not a shot. It's not just a shot. It is a vaccination. Bitches was getting wiped out.
And ridiculing him because his father raised a man.
Raised a man. So now not getting vaccinated for your own safety and for the longevity of your family, your children, your lifetime as a parent, and those around you, that makes you a man. Okay.
You should not have called out Kwame Brown in the way that you did.
So now we calling out now we're gathering Kwame Brown. See, it's strategic because he know Kwame Brown is real quick to pop off on Stephen A. Smith. So now they can partner up with Kwame Brown and talk about the different instances and power and issues that they've had, and Kwame Brown could be manipulated. But let's be real, Kwame Brown has a lot of issues from damn self. And it's so funny that y'all talk about holding people accountable, but so many people that y'all actually shout out names and stuff like that as people that y'all align yourself with are also problematic and are very dangerous people and have been disgusting people towards their children. But do you hold them accountable until they get it right? Until they go fix that wrong that they've hurt somebody? Do y'all do that? Because that's what Monique said in the interview, but you're dropping names like you don't know what's behind them. Very manipulative. Very manipulative, but I won't be manipulated, bitch.
Calling him a bust because you have forgotten that black man has a family, and any man that has had the length of time that he had to live the dream in the NBA is not a bust.
She's definitely learning that from him. She's definitely learning that from him. He's the leader in this. He's basically raising her. She said that. And Monique is sounding like him. Monique didn't start sounding like this until she got with him. He's probably been like this the whole time, but we wouldn't know that because nobody cared about who the fuck he was because he wasn't famous, nor did he have any success or accomplishments. But Monique was never like this from in the beginning. So it was definitely him having an influence on her.
In my book, he's a hero. He's a hero. So when you call Jason Whitlock a fat bastard, but you're telling Monique, who referred to them as her.
So now we're dog whistling to Jason Whitlock to attack Stephen A. Smith, and let's link up together and have more support for each other so we can come against Stephen A. Smith because he said that I'm bitter. Wow.
brother and her sister, and she
all
loves
of
them.
all of this because Stephen A. Smith said that you're bitter because you've been talking about Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, and Lee Daniels for like the last 14 years. It is 2024. This happened in 2010. That's the bitterness of it. Nobody thinks that you're wrong. It's the fact that you're continuing to harp on a topic that will never be resolved. Oprah don't give a fuck. Oprah is evil. Oprah was on Epstein's island, allegedly. And then Tyler Perry already said that he not giving nobody no free money, so you're not getting the money from him. You're not getting that money. You're not getting no money. You're not getting no money. You'll be lucky to even get a sorry from him. You already said on stage that they can suck your dick. So what's the point of this? What are we trying to accomplish with this? Because Tyler Perry is not about to give you no tens of millions of dollars to cover the stuff that you lost. If you feel like that's what that's what you need, then go take him to court, sue him, and get what you want through litigation, and then move on. But if you're not going to do that, you're going to continue to do interviews. It's like this is never going to be resolved. We're going to continue. Are we going to be in our 60s and 70s looking at Monique and Sidney, bad bitch, Hicks, basically do interviews about Tyler Perry? I'm confused. If you don't get your motherfucking ass off my bed, if you sit your ass down, sit. So I'm saying it does not make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. What's the resolution to this? Because Tyler Perry ain't gonna give you that money. Oprah is never gonna give you an apology. So what's the point? You told them to suck your dick, so it's not like you really give a fuck. So it's like, what are you doing with this? And then even after all of that big ass interview that you did, you had nothing to promote. Your man had nothing coming up. Your man had nothing prepared for you to talk about. Your man had no tour to talk about. Your man had no special to talk about for you to promote. Your man had nothing for you to promote, even though he's your manager. Nothing for you to promote. You're talking about just keep looking. And the reason that you said that, Monique, and I really be trying to be kind about it because I really love Monique, y'all. I don't think y'all understand Monique. I loved the Parkers. I loved all of the movies that she was in. I loved, bitch, I could have been your cellmate. That special when she went to that prison, it meant so much to me to watch that black woman do that. I have so much love for Monique, y'all. Y'all don't understand. In my head, she was like one of my aunties. Because that's what she was like when I was growing up. I was a child. But what I won't do is not hold somebody accountable. What I won't do is call a spade when I see it. You had nothing to promote. Because this is all you're doing. What else is going on? You said that. You said keep watching because you expected that people will feel some type of sympathy for you to give you an opportunity. That's what you want. Create your own opportunities. You have your name. You have a fan base. Why don't you create your own opportunities? So remind people that you're still funny. Do some skits. Do some skits or something like that. You used to act anyway. Do a skit or something. Let people know that you're still funny so you could pack out these venues. Do something. But all you're doing right now is just complaining about Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, and Lee Daniels and D.L. Hughley. But you have nothing else going on. The fact that after that big ass interview that you did, that you had nothing to promote was startling to me. You're talking about just keep watching. I'm living life. Bitch, what you talking about? Not calling you a bitch, but I'm saying, what are you talking about? This is when you plug something that you got coming up. See, Cat Williams had his tour that he was talking about. Cat Williams' tour, everybody couldn't wait. You was popping jokes. You made so much progress in that interview. You really turned the people on to your side, and you had nothing to promote to benefit off that. It's like you just wanted to round up some sympathy, so hopefully somebody offers you a job, but you don't want to do the work to do that because truth be told, you don't have the money, and your husband does not have the wherewithal to know how to start a production company, how to produce your own special to pimp out to other people or anything else of the sort. We see now that your husband don't know shit that he's talking about. Nigga, you should have stayed in the background. You want to talk too much, and you're letting us know that you have shit to talk about. I wish I would have been in some of the biggest movies, won a fucking Grammy, be one of the renowned queens of comedy, have social media backing me up, not doing skits, not partnering up with people who look up and idolize me as one of the biggest comedians and doing skits with them. Do you know how much Jess Hilarious and motherfucking, DC Young Fly and, Country Wayne would have did a skit with you to upgrade both of y'all? Carlos Miller, that like these motherfuckers live off of skits, podcasts, commenting. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could really be taking this off, but you're not doing shit.
You can call Jason Whitlock a fat bastard.
But here we are sitting here continuously dropping more names to try to pull into this bullshit. You're not smart, Sidney. You think that you're smarter than what you are. You think you're smarter than what you actually are. See, motherfuckers like you old ass omegas, y'all are niggas that think y'all are smarter than what y'all actually are, but y'all need to be quiet in the back. See, y'all look better when y'all are quiet in the back. See, y'all seem like smart men when y'all are quiet in the back, but as soon as you open your mouth, you spout out ignorance and stupidity. But you think that you're saying some real smart shit. If we wanted some real smart shit, we would go to the alphas. If we wanted some real smart shit, we would go to Phi Beta Sigma. If we wanted some real smart shit, we would go to Kappas. If we want to know how to get a bitch pussy ate, we'll go to you. But I really don't even think that you really do that. I think that Sidney is the throat king. He's definitely the throat king. You can't convince me otherwise. That's why Monique baby daddy probably loved that man.
Question to you: why are you allowed to speak your truth, but this black woman is not? Help me. Help me. I need the help. It is low-hanging fruit to attack a black man. That was Cat Williams and Monique that did the interview. Why is it that you singled Monique out? Why is it? She was polite.
Like I'm saying, y'all, this is bothering me because we're spending so much time talking about shit that don't matter. Who give a fuck what Stephen Smith got to say? He talks shit about everybody. That nigga got a wig on. His hairline is falling back. Life is already hitting his ass hard anyway. Who cares? Why are you not building your empire? Bitch, you are Monique. Monique. Bitch, you are hilarious. You could do a part 2 to the Queens of Comedy tour. Greg, you could gather up some more Adele Givens. That other lady that took her wig off. I forgot her name. I love her too. Shit, y'all can get Cheryl Underwood. Shit, somebody. Do that. Or you could do your skits. Make some skits. Remind people that you're actually one of the funniest bitches in comedy. Remind them. Because what we've seen so far, and I really feel like it's really sullied your talent because like the bitterness of what you've been through. And mind you, you have the right to be angry. You have the right to be bitter. But I'm saying if you want to come back, the bitterness is not gonna help you. Because you're not doing it's not making you funnier. Unfortunately, Monique, you're not funny when you're angry. You're funny when you're happy. You're funny when you're not upset. You're not one of those comedians that can turn their anger into laughs. That's not something that you're able to do because it turns into just ranting. Do some skits. Get on YouTube. Reestablish your presence in this new age and reintroduce yourself to new people. It's so many younger comedians who want to partner up with you, who love you and look up to you as one of the queens of comedies and one of the pioneers in this game. You are one of the funniest females that have ever lived, if not the funniest, which can be debated because I think some more is quite hilarious too. But I'm saying that, like, I just feel like it's a waste. This is a waste. Maybe Monique don't want to do stand up no more. What do you want to do, Monique? What do you want to do?
You're not asking, was she inaccurate when she spoke about Tiffany Haddish? Though there's nothing but love. There's nothing but love. The irony is that our sister Tiffany Haddish went to GQ magazine to say, I'm glad I don't have that husband of hers, for standing for Monique and standing with Monique when we were talking about pay inequality, only for her to turn around and speak about the pay inequality.
At this point, what about her son? What about the son? So Monique, you don't even give a fuck. Like, you let this man drag your son and you just moving on. Okay, next point. Drag my son. Next point. Is that what we're doing? So now we're back to talking about Tyler Perry, Kevin Hart, Oprah Winfrey. Like, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. But you want to request all of this integrity, all of this, but you don't want to even better the relationship with your son, and you allowing this bald bitch to sit here and talk shit about your son that came out of your womb. Somebody that you carry for 9 months. Somebody that you have this connection to, that God gave to you to raise and uplift. You're letting this man talk shit about your kid. That's crazy. You're losing respect by the thousands by each second that this goes on. By the time this ends, I probably won't have no respect for Monique.
Wow. See, we will succumb to what it is that we support when what we support is wrong.
You know.
And why the fuck are you staring at the camera like that, Monique? Look at this nigga while he talking. You're not actually looking at people. Why are you just staring at it's so weird to me.
If I may say this to you,
y'all not YouTubers.
Smith, what you said when you said I'm bitter and my light don't shine no more, what you said to black women without saying it was, be quiet.
Be seen and not heard. And if you have a black woman in your life, and I believe I saw you in a picture with your beautiful queen, are you encouraging her through your message by what you said?
Tiffany RX. Tiffany RX. Baby, we grown as fuck here. I respect you, sis, but I'm gonna say what the fuck I'm gonna say. Bitch, these, like, not calling you a bitch, but I'm saying these is motherfucking groups. What the fuck is a fraternity anyway? After you leave college, what the fuck, and I'm not talking about sororities, because I feel like sororities do more for the community afterwards. But I can't tell you one motherfucking thing a Kappa, Phi Beta Sigma, an Iota, Alpha, none of these people have done in my communities. And I'm talking about people that's post-college. So I'm saying that, what are we talking about? At the end of the day, that shit is a fad. After college, that shit fades. It don't mean shit. Don't change anything. Y'all don't even have an interconnected network of fucking people to help y'all get jobs. Like, it should be no reason that a Kappa, Alpha, anything should not be able to be easily employed after college, because they have all of these brothers that they've indebted themselves to by way of hazing. Let's not talk about it. So I'm saying, at this point, what is it for? Not trying to disrespect my Greek community, but I'm just saying, like, let's be real here. I don't respect none of this shit. Shit, I know. Let me stop.
To Monique, that you were in support of her voicing her concerns when being mistreated, or you encouraging her and other Black women? I don't know if you have children, but
I'm just saying, I don't like when people be acting like, these Greek, these Greek sororities and fraternities are like gang sets. And gang sets are dumb too, because they never help you in life. Gangs do not help you. These organizations do not help you. It doesn't, I don't get, I cannot tell you the last time I seen a group of alpha kappas, phi beta 6, I seen them go into a community and help post college. You do that shit for a couple years while you in college, get a whole bunch of pussy, go to a whole bunch of parties, and then you leave and go about your business. And then when y'all do recollect, it's about y'all old days, not about shit that you're doing now. I'm just saying that's what I've experienced. I have not seen my church, for example, runs food banks all the time. I have not seen one of those organizations come down there to help. Homeless people, they ain't helping. I don't know what they're doing, but I truthfully don't know. And I don't know what they're doing for these boys after college, because it's definitely not helping them get no jobs. Definitely not helping them get no internships. Definitely not helping them get no employment. They're not doing that either. That's what I'm saying.
If you have a daughter, because I've heard you speak with a great deal of reverence for your mother and for your sister, you should talk to them and ask them, have they been encouraged in this life to speak their truth or discouraged about speaking their truth?
And I'm going to see it on stage.
Yeah, again, got to see you on stage. But this is the off the stage conversation to let y'all know that the people that we discuss, again, we want to reiterate Oprah, Tyler, and I'll stand there for a moment. As we come before you feeling free to discuss anything that is said about us, whereby it's made to appear like we've done something wrong, if we are giving people the impression that we are perfect, I want to make it clear right now, we are not. So as imperfect people, we have no inhibitions about giving an apology when you owe it to somebody. Have no indignations, no problems, no apprehensions. But we must ask ourselves, how can individuals like Tyler Perry, who said that Monique was difficult?
Y'all, I can't. Now we're back to Tyler Perry. What does this have to do with you abandoning your son and then your husband calling your son a broke bitch that abuses women verbally and has mental health issues, Monique? What is what does this have to do with your son?
And indict her as difficult in the business.
She is difficult.
Okay. Lose parts. How can she come to court to stand trial to defend her position under the light of the court of public opinion?
Who gives a fuck about public opinion?
But the very one who accused her, he stays hidden.
He's not staying hidden. He just doesn't give a fuck, so it's time to move on.
Why would that be?
Because he doesn't give a fuck.
Why would that be?
Because he does not give a fuck, Sid.
Mother Oprah, Lord of the master classes, okay? The one who is now...
Monique, are you doing church sounds again? Do I have to grab them glasses?
Aren't they getting ready to give some sort of talk in reference to, what was it?
Sidney, y'all, I low key hear me out and hear me out, y'all. Hear me out, y'all. Y'all gonna think I'm probably crazy when I say this, but I low key think that the reason that Sidney encourages Monique to continue to do this, and I believe the reason that Sidney likes to talk about this is because he was so used to seeing Monique, be like this huge star and have all these huge A-list connections. Now he has these connections to these famous people, even if there's a negative connection to it. And he's going to bring it up every single time because it helps him, feel fulfilled at the end of all of this, because he feels that he can say, I know Monique. I know Lee Daniels. I know Oprah. I know Tyler Perry. They hurt me. These people ain't special. Everybody, nobody different from me. It helps his ego almost, like, to be tied to their names. That's what I feel like it is for Sidney. But I feel like Monique is really feeling this stuff because he's speaking it into her, right? But she does not know that he's just manipulating her. That's what it really seems. He just loves to have his name tied to these big ass names, to have a connection to them in some type of way that he'll always bring them up. Even though they didn't do shit to him, everything that they did was to Monique.
I know part of it was forgiveness.
Oh, and her and Tyler.
It was like a D word. It was I forgot. And forgiveness. What you may want to give a seminar about is how not to just forgive, but how to ask for forgiveness. See, we're not dealing with.
So, did you ask your son for forgiveness in the right way?
The Pythagorean theory. This is not A plus B squared, A squared plus B.
Not this nigga talking about geometry. I cannot. Algebra.
Squared equals C squared. This is nothing challenging. This is very simplistic. If you were comfortable, Oprah Winfrey, going on the CBS morning show saying that if we make Harvey Weinstein the center point of sexual assault, we're missing the boat. And you like to look in the silver cloud as it relates to that. Or you having a documentary on our brother Michael Jackson after he was found not guilty in the court of public opinion. But you want to do a documentary on him. But you don't want to speak up for a black woman.
So now you're trying to catcall, not catcall, but you're trying to dog whistle once again to black women and also black men by way of bringing up how Oprah Winfrey made that documentary about Michael Jackson. What we won't do, just because we love Michael Jackson, is not act like what he did was very questionable with those kids. Now, I don't know. I was not there. But I'm gonna try to believe the kids. Sorry. Yes, he was found not guilty. Understood. But that, like, these rumors and stuff didn't just come out of nowhere. They don't just make up that you're just touching kids. That's not something that just people just make up. Especially a whole bunch of kids to say. Or a few, allegedly. But yeah, I don't get it. So now I guess you want to rile up the Michael Jackson fans to hate Monique. Come at Monique. Do right by Monique. Do right by Monique. Do right by Monique. Like you did it. You didn't do it. Like you messed over Michael Jackson. You can't mess over Monique like that. We love Monique. Like that's what you want. It's manipulation. You manipulate people's anger and pain to do the things that you want them to do. And you think you're smarter than other people, but you're not. It's pathetic and it's disgusting. If you only spent as much time as actually trying to be a good manager for Monique and get her things that she deserves, rather than try to corral everybody up and emotionally manipulate people to do the things that you want them to do instead of using your own business intellect to do the things that you want to do, we'll be in a different place.
Who based upon all your business endeavors, that when you do not have a contract with someone, you do not owe them anything, but you allow that to ride. And again, we make it a habit of not just calling up what is wrong, but what's right. See, there was a woman named Barbara Walters. This
nigga, like, stop mentioning people, bruh. Like, and the thing about it is, like, they don't be wearing anybody out. Because at the end of the day, after the camera goes off, how they gonna pay their bills? These other people are good. And I don't care what Monique says, like, and what Sidney says. Sidney has let us know that he's about the fucking money because he just brought up how much of it that he used to help, Shalon. So he's definitely about the money. Unfortunately, it's not about his own money. It's about Monique's money because he ain't got no fucking money. So at the end of the day, they're not really dragging anybody because after all of this is said and done, those people that they're dragging are gonna go home to their $1 million mansions while Monique is on IG Live once again begging Oprah Winfrey and in Tyler Perry to validate what she's saying and how she feels, and they never will. Wasting her time, wasting her talent, wasting her youth. You've wasted 14 years of your motherfucking life. 14 years of your life, bitch, doing this. Well, you could have been doing so much more. You could have been doing so much more. Whew. This is just sad.
He had to address the public because there was a rumor that Monique was difficult to interview with. That woman could have been a proud graduate or student from the Oprah Winfrey School of Duck and Dodge. I'm not going to face things publicly and not said a word. But instead, what did she do? She came out immediately and said that is a lie. She was wonderful to work with and the whole nine. Brother Tyler Perry, listen, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. The world is listening to you tell Monique that you were wrong for doing something. You were wrong for telling others that she was difficult for not essentially committing an act of slavery.
Come on.
You play the role of Medea, a big, black, strong woman. Okay, that's the role you play.
Well, let's talk about the role of the big black woman you play in a relationship because your woman had to go to another man for money while you sat in the house like a big black woman and then do shit to help your family. At the end of the day, at least Medea had a house that she owned that she didn't have to pay rent on. At least Medea took care of her family, and at least Medea kids loved her. At least Medea had a good relationship with her grandchildren. Bitch, y'all don't even have that. So I'm gonna need you to lay off Medea. Medea ain't got nothing to do with this. Now you could talk about Tyler, but you won't talk about Medea. Okay?
Okay, because apparently there's a level of appreciation you have for that black woman who's willing to speak truth to power. Well, now you're talking about another big black woman that has to speak truth to the power named Tyler Perry. Brother, the light, this is the red roof in intellectually, because we're going to leave the light on for you. You don't understand the magnitude of how you can help heal the community by showing them you too are a human being. We're going to treat everyone like a human being because we love you enough.
Come on.
We love you enough and want you.
Yes,
what was that movie, Cadillac Records?
Yes.
There was a scene in there in which our brother, one of the greatest actors on the planet, Jeffrey Wright, was confronted by the character named Wolf.
Yes.
And he said, I'm getting tired of you acting like you acting towards that white man. I want to see you have the privilege of being a man in and of yourself. We want to see you have the privilege, Brother Tyler, of showing the world that you are a good dude. And I believe deep down you are. But the embarrassment from the audio where you say, y'all got it too hot out here, but you go to churches. When would Jesus think the right time was to go out and say I was wrong?
Y'all don't believe in Jesus. Y'all set the universe, remember? I'm just reminding y'all don't believe in Jesus. Let's stop playing. Don't use him if he ain't got nothing to do with this. All right.
Would it be when I promote my next movie and the heat continues? Would he wait until it's not hot out here? Or would he want his humble servants, as you claim to be, to the moment you identify that you are wrong? This is the moment we need to identify that I am wrong. Why have you not done that? That was in 2016. And I'm not going to speak belligerent to anyone because that is not alignment. That is not in alignment spiritually with me, with the universe. And what we're communicating today, this is not designed for everyone to appreciate. If you are vibrationally connected to what is right, the person who does wrong does not matter, because wrong is wrong and right is right. And Brother Stephen A., the way in which you communicated, that's a great way to potentially be in alignment with the right people, but you're not in alignment with what is right.
Did y'all practice that, like that, that right people thing? Like for you to lift her hands up and she know to do the quote apostrophes with you? The quotation marks? Did y'all practice that? It was giving whack.
And I want to say this.
My sweet baby.
To the younger generation.
Yes.
Brother Greg, when you say the younger generation is watching, we want them to. We want them to watch so close and pay so close attention to the ones that are afraid, fearful, and to the ones that are saying, no, baby, you keep standing. And for those of you who say, well, Monique, why do you keep going? Because what we are showing the younger generation, until they're accountable, you can't stop. Until you hold people.
You're full of shit. You're full of shit. You're not doing this for us. You're not doing this for this generation. I truly don't know what the fuck you're doing this for, Monique. But at the end of the day, my sweet babies, is that fact that this is not showing us anything that we want to replicate or do. If we continue to bark at a fucking wall that's not answering us back, we move on. We run to the store. We run to the to the gas station. We run somewhere else. We don't just sit here and look and bark at a wall that's not moving. That's counterproductive. That's a waste. So y'all can continue to try to get accountability out of people. But how about you be accountable as a mother? And you talk about your sweet babies and the younger generations and, those of us who may need. What about those of us who have been neglected by their moms? What are you going to do about that? What example are you going to be about the mother neglect, about the parental neglect? What are you going to do about that? Because to me, seems that you're very cool with child neglectors. You're cool with Corey Holcomb. I wouldn't be surprised if y'all call Brian McKnight y'all brother as well. We already know how many dumb bitches, Corey Holcomb called his daughter and the mother of this child. But at the end of the day, what does this have to do with you being an absentee mother who does not give a fuck about renewing or repairing the relationship between you and your son? What does this have to do with anything?
Accountable. You cannot stop. So to this younger generation, my babies, don't back down. Don't sit down.
And the sad thing about it is I really feel Monique believes what she's saying. But when it comes from Sidney, it's manipulation. But he's manipulating Monique so much. I believe he put his period blood in her spaghetti sauce. I believe that's exactly what it is. I believe that Sidney tied a rubber band around her toenail or something like that. I believe that he did some type of witchcraft on Monique because Monique's head is gone. This ain't Monique. This is Sidney at this point. Sidney gets to vicariously be the big ass black woman that he always wanted to be via Monique. He gets to be that big black bitch that he always wanted to be. Except now he can just call himself a manager while he does it.
Don't lay down. Keep standing. Unapologetically. Keep standing. They are banking on you. They are banking on you to be so afraid of these invisible powers that be so afraid of that you don't speak up and you don't speak out, that you just lay low and you be quiet and you take the abuse and you be exploited. They're banking on us to be that. They're banking on us. So for you, Stephen A. Smith, for you, Brother Greg Mathis, who I love dearly, your family, I love y'all. However,
real quick, I just need to do something. Can one of y'all delete JF Queen's comment? No issue, no problem with you, JF Queens. You can still comment, but y'all can't cuss in the chat. They'll demonetize me. Please, if you gonna cuss, put an asterisk where the vowel is, or misspell it or something like that. But you cannot cuss in the chat, bruh. Can't do that. So re-put that message as something else. But go ahead, y'all. I'll resume.
But when you say the studios are watching, the executives are watching, but our community is suffering.
And the Screen Actors Guild, the Writers Guild, just got finished striking. They were watching then.
Yeah.
They were watching prior to that. What we're looking for are the people who are in alignment with honesty. Because let me explain to you what can happen and how healing it is. See, last week when we spoke about the Breakfast Club and our brother Charlemagne the God just taking ownership of it at the behest of a Black woman named.
Did y'all like the video yet? I feel like the video has not been getting likes. I can't see the video because I'm on a different platform streaming this to y'all. But I feel in my spirit y'all haven't been liking this video. I feel like we're at like 20 likes. I feel that. Or maybe 60. But it's 100 of y'all in here. So if y'all like, if about 80 or 90 of y'all could like the video real quick, that'll be highly appreciative. Okay?
Okay. We got it. All right, we're going to wait for some of the babies to come in the room.
Hold on. What we won't do is this. Y'all.
Okay. We got it. All right, we're going to wait for
okay, y'all. I think that's all. I think that's really it for the most part. I'm not watching that over. I'm not. I can't. I ain't got it in me. I ain't got it in me, y'all. I can't do no more of that man. I don't like that man. I don't like that man. I don't like him. I have nothing good to say about Sidney. But, you know, much respect to the son, you know, Monique's actual bloodline, you know. And, you know, it's very disappointing that Monique feels that she does not have to better the relationship with her son and she's waiting for him to come to her, although she was the bad mom. It's getting very sad to me. And I really do think that she could do better than that. But I guess if you want to be manipulated by, you know, by a bitch that probably likes deep throat, then go ahead. I wouldn't be surprised if Monique allowed him to get his throat on. That's probably, you know, he probably loved going to them little freaky deaky Atlanta parties, probably. I wouldn't be surprised about that. I cannot stand this man, y'all. I have literally grown so much disgust for Sidney. I already kind of knew that he was looking kind of weird on that last live that I reacted to that they did, you know, when he shouted out Corey Holcomb. And I was like, well, why are you shouting out Corey Holcomb? Because that literally goes against every single thing that y'all said. Yeah, he already talked about that. That was at the beginning. That was at the beginning. He already said that he wouldn't let him call himself dad, you know, call him dad because he already had a daddy. But I'm saying the other son already had a daddy too. Because they have the same dad. So why are you calling him son? And then even then, you're his step parent, so you are his stepfather. Somebody can have multiple fathers. Like, it makes no sense to me because Monique swears and claims that she's everybody's dead relative. You know, she claimed that she's whatchamacallit's mama. She's whatchamacallit's auntie. She's motherfucking Shannon Sharp's auntie Mary. So like, you can have 18, 29 different, you know, mamas from what Monique says, but you can only have one dad. How that work? And if the dad is not being in somebody's life, then why don't you step up and actually step into that category and not tell somebody they can't call you dad? That's fucked up. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. At the end of the day, this really has opened my eyes to see that Sidney is really a piece of shit. And he ain't shit, and I can see why Tyler Perry don't want to talk to him. Oprah don't want to talk to you. Nobody wants to talk to you, Sidney, because you're not that girl. You want to be that girl, so you're attaching yourself to Monique, but you still won't ever be that girl. I don't give a fuck how many Q signs you throw up, bitch. You are still a bottom of the barrel. Like, and the thing about you sitting here talking about Monique child, But you had to live with Monique because you probably couldn't pay your motherfucking rent because Monique said that y'all was roommates. But then I had to think about it. Ain't no way Monique had to be roommates with a nigga because she was making $3 million a year from what she said. Plus, we knew that she was making $50,000 per episode on the Parkers. So when you was a roommate, that means that you really was living with her because you had nowhere else to go and she allowed you to live with her, probably rent free. But you're talking about her son getting a down payment for a car. But you was literally living with a grown ass woman because you didn't have your own place. Y'all can't cuss in the comments. I can cuss on this video. I passed the 10-minute mark. So I can cuss. Now, y'all can't cuss in the comments, is what I'm saying. He is setting y'all up for ministry. He tired of y'all saying he don't have a job. I think I see that. I see that. You sitting here living with Monique off of her money from the Parkers, but moved in with her back then, but you talking about her son getting some money for a down payment for a car that he's still paying on himself. A down payment don't cover the full car. That just gets the car off the lot. You still have to sign your name down to pay. And then you have to deal with interest. So I'm confused. So you want to use Monique, but you don't want her kids to benefit off of that? And regardless of the fact, her kids can still get stuff from their mom, and still be upset with their mom. That's their mom. Who the fuck are you to say anything about their relationship, you pathetic bitch? But let me get the fuck off this shit, y'all. I'm pissed. This shit made me mad. It's hitting a little too close to home for me. Okay? But listen, I want to tell y'all, thank y'all for stopping by. I'm gonna edit the thumbnail and I'm gonna change the name of this because I'm gonna have to edit the last video to kind of like scrub the little bit of part that we did on Monique off. I'm gonna scrub that off and I'm gonna just make this video the focus on the Monique portion of the last video. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make a whole new thumbnail, trim the last video that I have on YouTube, and see what we get. Okay, y'all. I love y'all for real. Hold on, I'm sorry. That didn't come across very genuine. Hi, my sweet babies. My name is Jeremy Speaks, and I am a black man that loves my people. And I want to tell y'all today, if nobody ever told you, my sweet babies, I love you. Hold on. I got to put it right on the tip of the nose. And if nobody ever told y'all today, baby, I love you. And y'all are loved, okay? So drink water, love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, you end up like a mother who has failed at mothering, who does not want to love their child that they pushed through their womb at all. And they'll trade them in for a nigga who's literally in it for the money, probably. Okay? Now, I love y'all, my sweet babies, and most importantly, love yourselves and drink water. Okay? And I'm saying this for my community, my people, my black people. My sweet babies. I love us for real. Okay? I love us for real. Now, I'll see y'all later, all right? Bye.